Between this video and the last one, by the time you're finished with them, you're going to think that I'm some public service announcement guy for when and where you should use your cell phones. But a lot of this stuff, I guess to me, it just seems like common sense. But I guess it's not to some. The last video we talked about Corey Taylor slapping a phone out of a fan's hand and brought up the debate of whether or not you need those devices whenever you go to a concert event. And of course the conclusion eventually was no, you don't. Put those things away. One place where you definitely don't want to be using your phone, to text or play Angry Birds is while you're driving a vehicle. Randy Blythe from Lamb of God over this weekend was nearly killed by an automobile accident that occurred on the side of a 2-lane highway in Oklahoma. He has the photos that he posted to his Instagram to showcase the damage that was caused by a large truck that veered off of the road, plowed into another, like a smaller, regular-sized truck, as opposed to a big, long, 18-wheel style truck, and then plowing into the back of their chaser's trailer. So, yeah, as you're looking at these photos, you can imagine it's almost being like the first or opening scenes of a horror movie. And it only got worse whenever the people got out of the vehicle, the big truck, and they were writhing, they were screaming. There was one person who had a gash on his hand that was so large that it was very clear to see the bone. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of blood. Randy and his companions called 911 for these people. There were about 4 or 5 of them in this truck, and the driver was yelling that their brakes went out. And Randy, in these Instagram posts, kind of does the Randy thing and kind of goes off and doesn't believe it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I kind of don't either. You take a look at some of the evidence of this, and somebody who veers off the road at that rate of speed, because the rate of speed had to be very, very high to do the amount of damage that they did. It's an amazing, amazing thing that nobody was killed. But the rate of speed, the amount of damage, veering off at right that time, especially considering there was nobody supposedly on the road. Nobody on the road. It almost seems like in those situations that cars have some sort of magnetism to one another, where in those situations they're almost looking to stop just by stopping on top of another one. But this is, wow. This is something that is just absolutely incredible. Now, I'm not going to sit here and actually say that a cell phone caused this. And that's going to cause a lot of you to say, well, Cover Killer Nation, what a clickbait start to this video that was. What a clickbait video this is. And quite frankly, you can say that if you wish. But the reality of it is that if this driver is telling the truth and the brakes did give out, they're still going really fucking fast and caused a lot of damage. And that's definitely not a good thing. But if you're using a phone and you veer off the road, you're not just going to say to somebody, I looked down at my phone and it happened. Believe me, I've seen scenes from accidents, and I have stopped to respond. There was one that was actually on a road recent, or pretty close by to me very recently, and there was a couple of folks that were arguing based off of this concept, and you had to step in and kind of calm them down a little bit. That situation is not an easy one to be in, because the idea that we have all of these distractions in our vehicles now, it used to be just radios and maybe an iPod, but now we have cell phones, we have iPods, there are now even big screens that are supposed to be, GPSs that are built into these suckers that can be jerry-rigged to watch movies, because you really need to go down the road, head toward Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you gotta know what happens to Sarah Connor. You have to know what happens to Sarah Connor, and let me tell you, there's no way that you're not going to be distracted by something like this. There's no way you're not going to look down unless you're really, really good at, assumption. Or really good at conjecture. You can infer a good bit just based off of the noises that are being made. Here's the thing. I'm going to admit to each and every one of you that sometimes, whenever I have a big project, and I'm listening to multiple albums, I like to have a couple albums on there. And I like to have them in my car. I like to pop these albums on and set my phone somewhere far away, because guess what? I'm driving. That's my primary focus. That's my primary concern. If I don't like a song or something like that, too bad. Unless I have a traveling companion that can skip it for me. Once I am on the road, once you are behind the wheel, on the road, pushing the gas pedal and the brake pedal, in traffic, that's your priority. That is your fucking priority. I can't imagine somebody would feel the need, while they were driving down the road, to text somebody. And really, it surprises me even to call. It really surprises me even to call. I'm guilty of this from time to time, very seldomly. But it is something where even that feels a little unsafe because just that little distraction could be the end. It could cause something horrible. It takes your attention off of it for just that split second. So Randy, we are happy that you and your traveling companions are okay. We are also happy that even though those who crashed into you are badly injured, that they are alive. What are your thoughts about this, Cover Killer Nation, ladies and gentlemen, anyone who's viewing this? What are your thoughts about Randy almost passing away this weekend in this auto accident? And what do you think about... I have to ask it. I have to sound like the dad here. What does that make you think about whenever it comes to the distracted driving, or how dependent we really are on these devices right here? It's an addiction. We're overly dependent. I'll talk to you guys next time. My name is Cover Killer Nation. I'm never playing Angry Birds again. Later.